Let me tell you something. There are a whole lot of men out here walking around like undercover agents in their own love story. They like you. They care about you. But they're doing everything in their power to act like they don't. Now, why do they do that? Because men, we complicated, but we predictable. And when a man likes you but hides it, the truth is he betrays himself in 100 small ways. When a man hides his true feelings, it's rarely because he doesn't care. More often, it's because he cares too much, and that level of emotion puts him in a place he doesn't know how to navigate. Many men grow up learning that showing emotion is weakness, that vulnerability is dangerous, and that opening up can cost them their pride or their peace. So instead of stepping forward with confidence, they take a step back and hope their actions will say what their voice is too afraid to admit. This fear is not about you. It's about the weight of what you represent to him. You represent possibility. You represent change. You represent a future he's not sure he's ready for but can't stop thinking about. And that tension makes him hide what he feels, even though it's written all over him. A man who fears rejection will rearrange his behavior in subtle ways that still allow him to stay connected to you. He will hover without crowding, observe without announcing, care without confessing. It's a protective instinct. If he doesn't reveal his feelings, he can't get hurt. He can't embarrass himself. He can't lose something he never admitted he wanted. But at the same time, his heart fights against that wall he built. His heart pushes him towards you, nudges him to check on you, keeps him invested even when he tries to appear detached. This is why his behavior seems inconsistent. On one day, he's present, helpful, attentive, carrying a warmth he hopes you don't question. Then suddenly he grows distant, quiet, aloof, not because he lost interest, but because he realized his interest was showing. Men hide their feelings because showing them feels like stepping into a spotlight with no shield. You become the one person who could make him feel exposed in a way no one else can. If he likes you, truly likes you, your opinion matters deeply to him. So he becomes unsure of his timing, unsure of your feelings, unsure of whether he's enough, unsure of how much to reveal. And that uncertainty makes him cautious. He fears that if he says the wrong thing, he'll ruin what little connection he's built. He fears losing you before he ever gets the chance to win you. So instead of expressing interest openly, he settles for quiet closeness. He'll be your supporter, your listener, the one who shows up when you least expect, but always at the right time. A man hiding his feelings will also overthink everything. He'll replay conversations in his head, trying to decode whether you smiled a certain way because you liked him or because you were just being polite. He'll notice small details about you, your favorite drink, the way you talk when you're excited, the things that make you nervous, and he'll store them away like precious information. He does this because he cares, but he tries not to give himself away. His heart is whispering loudly, but he's trying to silence it with logic. And yet, logic can never fully hide affection. It slips out. You'll see it in the way he looks at you when he thinks you're not paying attention. You'll feel it in the way he adjusts his behavior around you, standing a little straighter, speaking a little softer, trying a little harder. Fear also makes him patient. When a man likes you but hides it, he waits for the right moment, the right signal, the right level of safety. He wants confirmation that what he feels won't be a waste. This is why some men appear slow to move or hesitant to make the first step. It's not disinterest, it's emotional, self-preservation. He wants to know that stepping forward won't lead him off a cliff, so he watches for clues from you. Every time you respond to him with warmth, he feels encouraged. Every time you pull away, he retreats inside himself. His emotions become a tug of war between desire and fear. Sometimes men hide their feelings because they respect you more than they know how to express. They see you as someone they don't want to lose. They don't want to come off as unprepared or immature. They want to be ready. They want to be steady. They want to look like they know what they're doing. And until they feel that way, they'll keep their heart on a short leash. But even then, they won't vanish from your world. They may step back, but they never disappear completely. Their curiosity about you never diminishes, no matter how hard they try to shut it down. When a man hides his feelings, he also becomes sensitive to your smallest reactions. If you seem upset, he feels concerned. If you're happy, he feels lighter. If you're quiet, he wonders why. He starts caring in ways he doesn't verbalize. That emotional investment is one of the biggest signs he likes you. He may look calm on the outside, but inside he's navigating a storm of thoughts, emotions, and doubts. He wants to protect his heart, but can't stop it from leaning toward you. Many women misread this type of man. They think he's not interested, or that he's unsure, or that he's playing games. But the truth is, a man hiding his feelings is playing defense, not offense. He's not trying to manipulate you. He's trying to survive his own vulnerability. His silence isn't coldness, it's fear. His distance isn't rejection, it's hesitation. His subtle kindness isn't accidental, it's intentional affection wrapped in caution. The fear of being misunderstood also plays a big role. Men worry that expressing interest will make things awkward, or that you'll misinterpret his intentions, or that you'll see him differently in a way he can't reverse. So instead of risking miscommunication, he chooses familiar safeness, being the helpful guy, the funny guy, the supportive guy, the guy who cares quietly. But caring quietly doesn't make the feeling small. It only makes it hidden. And yet, no matter how deeply he tries to hide it, genuine affection has a way of revealing itself. It shows in the consistency he maintains even when he pretends not to care. It shows in the effort he makes even when he tries to downplay it. It shows in the patience he carries even when he acts indifferent. A man hiding his feelings is a man fighting himself, and the battle itself is proof of how much you truly mean to him. When a man is hiding his feelings, the strongest indicator is not in what he says, but in what he does without thinking. Actions are the truth that slip out when the heart is louder than the mind. A man can control his words, rehearse his replies, and guard his conversations, but he cannot fully control the unscripted moments when his behavior exposes what he hoped to keep hidden. This is why subtle consistency, quiet attention, and small forms of protection often speak more honestly than any romantic confession. When he likes you, his subconscious starts doing the talking for him. He'll show up for you even when he has no obligation to do so. He'll stand a little closer, linger a little longer, listen a little deeper. These are not random acts, they are emotional reflexes. And reflexes always reveal real feelings. A man who hides his affection will often communicate in small details. He notices things that even you don't notice about yourself. The way you react when you're nervous, the foods you avoid without mentioning, the topics that light you up instantly. He pays attention to these things, not to impress you, but because his mind naturally prioritizes anything connected to you. Love sharpens focus. Attraction increases awareness. And without meaning to, he becomes emotionally tuned to your presence. He may not be ready to say how he feels, but he can't stop himself from observing you with a quiet sort of care. Consistency is one of the clearest signs of hidden interest. When a man doesn't care, His presence is based on convenience. When he does care, his presence becomes intentional, even if he pretends otherwise. He might not reach out with bold romantic messages, but he'll check in subtly. He'll respond quickly, even when he tries to appear unbothered. He'll remember the things you mentioned days or weeks ago. He'll offer help before you ask for it. His efforts will show even if his words stay guarded. Men don't invest time or energy into someone unless there's emotional value attached. And the more he tries to hide that value, the more visible it becomes in his patterns. Another sign is the way he behaves when you're around versus when you're not. A man who likes you but hides it often becomes a slightly different version of himself in your presence. He might get quieter because he doesn't want to say something foolish. He might get more talkative because he's nervous and trying to impress you. He might joke more, stand taller, or engage more actively in the group whenever you're part of the environment. Men reveal their attraction through shifts in energy. Even when he tries to appear casual, a man who likes you cannot fully control the subtle changes in his demeanor. His attention gravitates towards you. His body language turns open. His eyes linger longer than they should. These tiny signals are not intentional. They are instinctive. A man hiding his feelings will also show traces of protectiveness. This doesn't always look dramatic or obvious. Sometimes it's as small as making sure you walk safely to your car, asking if you got home, okay, offering his jacket without making a big deal out of it, or gently stepping between you and something uncomfortable. These micro gestures might seem insignificant, but they come from a deep place. Men protect what they value. Even if he is hiding his emotion, the instinct to ensure your comfort or safety exposes more than he intends. You can also see his feelings in the way he responds to your moods. If you're upset, he becomes attentive. If you're excited, he becomes enthusiastic. If you're tired, he softens. A man who doesn't care remains neutral. A man who does care mirrors your emotional state because he is emotionally invested. He might not express it openly, but you'll feel his concern in his tone, his questions, or the way he tries to make things easier for you. Empathy becomes heightened when feelings are involved. It's almost impossible for him to hide that shift, no matter how hard he tries. Men also reveal hidden affection through hesitation. The pauses before speaking, the careful choice of words, the quiet moments where he seems to be thinking too hard. These are signs he's trying to manage his emotions. He doesn't want to appear too eager, too available, or too vulnerable. He doesn't want his intentions to be misunderstood, so he overthinks. But overthinking itself is a sign of caring. If he didn't care, there would be no pressure, no fear of saying the wrong thing, no weight attached to the interaction. His heart is involved, and he's trying to make sure he doesn't sabotage himself. Another action that reveals his hidden feelings is how he handles your presence when others are around. If he likes you, even secretly, he becomes more aware of you in group settings. He listens to you even when you're not talking to him. He reacts to your laughter. He notices when you step away. He adjusts his position to stay within your line of sight. These unconscious movements are signs of emotional alignment. He wants to be near you without indicating he wants to be near you, so he disguises it as coincidence. But coincidences don't happen consistently. His presence becomes intentional even without verbal acknowledgement. Men also communicate interest through small acts of priority. If he adjusts his schedule, responds quickly, shows up when you need something, or puts effort into making your life easier, these are strong clues. Men don't prioritize what they don't care about. Even if he tries to act like it's nothing, the energy he puts towards you has meaning. Effort is emotional currency. And when a man spends that currency on you, it's because his heart is involved even if his mouth is silent. He may also become quietly jealous, though he will try to hide it. He might not express jealousy outwardly, but you will notice small changes in his tone, his reactions, or the way he withdraws when another man enters the picture. He tries not to show it because he doesn't want to reveal how much he cares, but the emotional shift is real. Jealousy, even suppressed, is one of the clearest signs of unspoken affection. No matter how carefully he hides his feelings, a man's actions will eventually reveal his truth. His behavior becomes a reflection of the emotions he refuses to voice. And the more he tries to conceal his heart, the more his actions betray the depth of what he feels. When a man likes you but tries to hide it, the signs are rarely dramatic or obvious. They appear in the form of subtle consistency, quiet attention, and small protective instincts. Things most women overlook because they expect big gestures, clear confessions, or bold moves. But men who hide their feelings aren't operating from confidence. They're operating from caution. Everything they do is measured, gentle, almost disguised. Yet the truth is in those small, steady patterns that never disappear. These are the actions that slip through the cracks of his self-control and speak louder than whatever he's trying to conceal. Most women are taught to look for verbal assurance, but a man who hides his feelings isn't going to express them with words first. Words require certainty. Words require courage. Words require a level of emotional comfort that he might not feel yet. So instead, his actions become his language. They are subtle, yes, but they are sincere. A man who likes you but hides it will make sure he remains part of your world, even if he pretends it's accidental. He will maintain little threads of connection, checking up on you, making time for you, remembering things you told him, showing up when you need support. These gestures may seem light, but they are rooted in real emotion, and that's what makes them so telling. One of the signs women often miss is his quiet consistency. Not loud consistency, not overwhelming attention, but a gentle, steady presence that never fully disappears. Even when he's trying to act distant, he still finds ways to stay connected. He'll reply when it matters. He'll listen when you speak. He'll be there when life gets heavy. He might not send long, romantic messages or make bold declarations, but he will show up every time you genuinely need someone. That kind of reliability doesn't come from a man who is indifferent. That comes from a man who feels something real and strong, but doesn't yet know how to reveal it. His attention is another major sign that gets overlooked because it's quiet. He pays attention in ways that don't draw attention to himself. He observes your habits, your moods, the things that frustrate you, the things that make you smile. He notices when you're acting slightly different and asks if you're okay. He listens to the details you share, even if they seem unimportant. He remembers dates, small facts, preferences, things you only mention once. This isn't coincidence. This isn't politeness. This is emotional interest wrapped in a calm exterior. He's invested enough to care about what matters to you, but too guarded to turn that care into a confession. A man hiding his feelings also shows it through protective instincts, but not in the obvious, dramatic, heroic ways movies portray. His protection is subtle. He makes sure you're safe without announcing it. He checks if you got home. He stands a little closer when the environment feels uncomfortable. He watches over you quietly in crowds. He offers help before you ask. He steps in gently when something or someone bothers you. These actions are instinctive responses from a man who feels responsible for your well-being. He won't say, I care about you, but he'll behave like someone who does. Women often overlook these signs because they're not wrapped in romantic packaging. They seem like small gestures, or worse, things any nice person would do. But the truth is, men do not offer this level of soft, consistent effort to everyone. Men reserve these behaviors for women who matter. They do not invest emotionally where there is no emotional pull. The very subtlety of his actions is proof that he is protecting his own vulnerability while trying to protect you at the same time. Another sign that gets missed is how he adjusts himself around you. He becomes more thoughtful about what he says, more intentional with how he carries himself, more careful with how he reacts. He wants to be seen in a good light, but he also doesn't want to appear like he's trying too hard. This leads to a quiet tug-of-war in his demeanor. You'll see moments where he opens up, followed by moments when he pulls back. Not because he's unsure about you, but because he's unsure about himself. These shifts are not disinterest, they are emotional conflict. His heart wants closeness, but his mind tells him to protect himself. Men who hide their feelings also tend to create small opportunities to be around you. They don't do it in obvious ways, because obvious feels risky. Instead, they create natural seeming moments of interaction. They show up where they know you'll be. They start conversations that seem casual but are actually intentional. They position themselves near you without making it awkward. These tiny, almost invisible attempts to be close are signs of someone who wants more but doesn't feel ready to reveal it. Another subtle sign is the way he reacts when you talk about other men. He might stay quiet, but his energy shifts. He may act indifferent, but his attention sharpens. He listens too closely. He asks questions casually, but with an underlying tension. He might even joke about it, but the joke hides concern. This type of jealousy isn't loud or confrontational, it's repressed. He doesn't think he has the right to express it, so it leaks out in controlled doses. Women often miss this because they assume jealousy has to be dramatic to be real, but the quietest jealousy is usually the most meaningful. Most importantly, a man who hides his feelings will show you a version of himself that he doesn't show to others. He may soften around you. He may open up more. He may share pieces of his life that he keeps private from most people. Vulnerability is something men give carefully, but when he gives it, even in small fragments, it means he feels safe with you. And men do not feel safe with someone they do not care about. He may not confess his emotions outright, but a man hiding his feelings cannot hide the ways his heart shifts around you. It's in the steadiness of his presence, the quietness of his care, the softness of his attention, and the small protective instincts he displays without thinking. These are the signs women often overlook, not because they're invisible, but because they're subtle, gentle, and wrapped in the kind of sincerity that doesn't need to announce itself. Let me know when you want keynote 4. When a man likes you but hides it, one of the most revealing truths is that he will still find a way to be present in your life, even if he believes you will never notice. Attraction, especially when it's deep and genuine, pulls him toward you even when he tries to stay away. He might think he's keeping his feelings a secret, but his behavior exposes something he doesn't intend for anyone to see. A man's heart doesn't know how to disappear. Even if his mind tells him to act calm, distant, or controlled, his presence lingers in ways he can't completely manage. That lingering presence is one of the clearest signs that his feelings are real, no matter how well he thinks he's hiding them. A man who is trying to stay in the background will still make sure he remains woven into the edges of your life. He doesn't push for attention, but he creates moments for connection. He might not initiate big conversations, but he reacts quickly and consistently when you reach out. He might not try to dominate your time, but he subtly makes room for you in his. He chooses to be available, not because he's free, but because you matter. Availability is one of the greatest indicators of emotional interest. Men make time for what they value. Even when they are hiding their feelings, they bend their schedules, adjust their plans, and create small windows of opportunity just to stay connected. He will also maintain a quiet awareness of your life. He pays attention to your routines, your habits, the places you frequent, the things that matter to you. He does this not to invade your privacy, but because he genuinely cares. His awareness is not loud or intrusive. It's thoughtful, observant, and respectful. He learns your patterns because he wants to support you in ways you might not ask for directly. He notices when your energy changes. He senses when something is off. He pays attention without trying to make his attention obvious. His presence also shows in the way he subtly prioritizes you. Without declaring anything openly, he makes decisions that keep him close to your world. He might volunteer to help with something you're working on, check in when you seem overwhelmed, or offer solutions when you're facing a challenge. He behaves like someone who is emotionally invested, even though he is hiding the depth of that investment. Prioritization doesn't always appear in grand gestures. It often appears in small, consistent choices that reveal what the heart values. Another way a man lingers in your life is through emotional accessibility. Even if he doesn't express how he feels, he makes himself emotionally present in your moments of need. When you're sad, he listens. When you're confused, he gives clarity. When you're stressed, he becomes a calm place to land. A man who doesn't care stays neutral. A man who does care stays supportive. Even when he doesn't define the relationship, emotional presence is often more telling than romantic words. His heart leans toward you in quiet ways, offering comfort and stability without asking for recognition. A man who hides his feelings also reveals them through his protectiveness. This protectiveness is subtle, almost invisible unless you know where to look. He may not express jealousy openly or declare romantic interest, but he will position himself in ways that keep you secure. He'll walk beside you without announcing it. He'll stand closer when something feels off. He'll ask if you made it home safely. He'll make sure you never have to face something difficult alone. These actions come naturally to him because caring for you isn't a choice, it's an instinct. He will also remain in your life by being a consistent communicator, even if his communication is modest. He may initiate simple conversations, small check-ins, or casual interactions that allow him to maintain connection without revealing too much. He asks how your day was. He remembers something you mentioned days ago. He follows up on things most people forget. These small efforts show that he's thinking about you more than he admits. They are the controlled expressions of a man who is trying not to expose the full weight of his feelings. Another way he stays in your world is through support that doesn't draw attention to itself. He celebrates your wins quietly but sincerely. He encourages your goals, your ideas, your growth. He believes in your potential even if he never says it directly. His pride in you shows through small expressions, his smile, his tone, his words of encouragement. He notices your progress and feels genuine happiness for your success. This type of emotional support reveals a depth of affection he may not be ready to voice. This man will also create emotional safety for you without fully understanding that he's doing it. You feel comfortable talking to him. You feel seen, heard, and appreciated. You feel like yourself when you're around him. He might not say he cares, but you feel cared for. Emotional safety is rarely accidental. It comes from someone who truly values your presence in their life. Men who hide their feelings also reveal them in the way they struggle between staying close and pulling away. He might withdraw for a day or two because he feels his emotions getting too strong, but he always returns. That return is meaningful. It shows that staying away is harder for him than being near you. His heart pulls him back even when he tries to create distance. This push and pull dynamic is not manipulation, it's confusion. He's trying to manage feelings that he doesn't fully understand yet, feelings that feel stronger than he expected. When a man lingers in your life despite his attempts to hide his emotions, it reveals a truth he cannot escape. Feelings will always find their way through behavior. His heart leaves traces in his consistency, in his attention, in his protectiveness, and in the way he always seems to show up at the right moments. Even without a confession, even without a label, his presence speaks for him. And whether he realizes it or not, every quiet action he takes is his heart trying to connect with yours.